Manchester City have been charged with breaking financial fair play rules around 100 times over a 9-year period, which starts in 2009 and goes all the way to 2018. One of the genuine possible punishments for Manchester City is they get kicked out of the Football League altogether. So I've relegated Manchester City into the Vanarama National League on Football Manager 2023 and simulated the game for 5 years to see what would happen if Football Manager was in charge. Okay, in 2022-23, they won 46 games, drew none, and lost none in the Vanarama National League. They sold Kyle Walker to PSG for 19.25 million. But apart from that, it looks like they managed to keep hold of all of their big name players. That is surely so unrealistic. In 2023-24, when they move up to Sky Bet League 2, they make their first 2 signings. Ethan Ampadu from Chelsea for 3.6 million and Gabriel Barbosa from Liverpool, 8.25 million. They didn't lose a game in League 2 in an entire season as well. 43 games won and 3 drawn. And we see some big names leaving the club. Ilkay Gundogan leaves on a free after finishing his contract. Now a coach, interestingly enough, available on a free transfer. Sergio Gomez, the young left back, 14.75 million. He goes to Bayern Leverkusen. Phil Foden for 18 million to Bayern Munich, and Akanji for 13.5 million to Juventus. Mahrez goes for 7 million, Nathan Ake goes for 10.75 million, and Cole Palmer for 17 million to Tottenham. Oh my god, in League 1, they didn't lose a game either. They drew 3 games again and won 43. 118 goals scored. They signed Tyrick Mitchell from Crystal Palace. What? Castagna from Leicester. Adam Armstrong from Southampton. João Cancelo leaves the club for 20 million to Real Madrid. Alvarez goes for 73 million to Bayern Munich. But still having the likes of Haaland, Ruben Diaz and Kevin De Bruyne, who played 38 games in Sky Bet League 1, scoring 13 goals and making 16 assists, is going to help any team go unbeaten in that league. Fast forward to 2025-26 and John Stones leaves the club for 11 million heading to Chelsea. Kevin De Bruyne runs his contract down and leaves on a free to Barcelona in 2025-26. Christian Pulisic makes his way in for 43 million from Chelsea, alongside Steven Bergwijn for 46 million from Ajax. Man City don't lose a league game until the 2025-26 season, where they lose just 2 games in the Championship against the mighty Swansea and away to West Brom, both just 2-1. What the heck? They won the Vanarama National League in 2022-23, then they won League 2 in 2023-24, they won League 1 in 24-25, you know what's coming next, they won the Championship in 2025-26, and then they came 4th in the Premier League in 2026-27. And they kept Erling Haaland, 117 goals, makes him the highest goal scorer amongst the current players. Who else have they kept? Wow, they still got Ederson, they still got Bernardo Silva, Calvin Phillips, Haaland, Grealish, Laporte still there. How the hell have they managed this? After 5 seasons away, Man City come back into the Premier League and Erling Haaland completes his redemption arc, having stayed with the club the entire time alongside his manager Pep Guardiola, and becomes the league's top scorer. 23 goals in 37 appearances in the Premier League in 2028. One of the most crazy things and most unlikely things to have happened in this simulation, by the look of it, is the fact that Pep Guardiola has stayed at Manchester City. I'm sure you've seen the quotes saying that if the club had lied to him, he would be gone. Well, that has not been the case, according to Football Manager. Look how amazing Pep Guardiola's stats are as well. And this guy, well, if anyone could have done it, it would have been this guy, right? 20 people management, 20 motivating, 20 adaptability. I suppose when we look into his hidden attributes, he's probably got like 20 loyalty as well, right? Do coaches have hidden attributes? City also managed to win the Carabao Cup twice during their hiatus, beating Aston Villa in the final at Wembley in 2023-24 and then Southampton in 24-25. This then sees them enter the UEFA Conference League and win that as well, beating Villarreal in the final in Brussels, Belgium. And they nearly won the Europa League as well in 2025-26, losing to, of all people, Leicester City 1-0 to a Cody Gakpo goal in the 12th minute. This is their team through the years, right? So the Vanarama National League had this best 11. Imagine playing against this in the Vanarama National. Then they moved into Sky Bet League 2 with this team, League 1 with this team, Championship with this team, Haaland, Grealish and Nkunku up front, smashed it, and then they're back in the Premier League playing Emerson Royale at right back. Can't see that happening, can you? How did they get away with this financially? That's what I want to know, because TV revenue is, I think, the highest, or at the very least a massive chunk of revenue for these big clubs. And if you're going to get relegated down to Vanarama, where's your revenue gone? So here's the financial screen. You can see overall balance at the top of the screen. This is in 2028. They got £36 million in the red. Their profit this year was 25 million, and their income this month was 52 million, expenditure 27 million. So if you look at this season, for example, sponsorship actually makes up the bulk of the revenue with 162 million pounds worth of sponsorship. I'm assuming that's the stadium rights, for example, the kit sponsor. Then we got prize money, 91 million. What's that for? Coming second in the Premier League or fourth in the Premier League? Not too sure about that. But then matching that is TV revenue, 91 million. How could they survive and be like a functioning business if they're not having this TV revenue down in the Vanarama? So I guess they just made their money from sponsorships, which sounds a bit iffy to me. If we look back in 2023, an income of 144 million when they're down in the Vanarama. Where's their income of 144 million coming from? Then we got 40, okay, it does go down a bit when we get into 2024, but 2024, 226 million income. Okay, so transfers out in 2022 with 24 million net gain. Oh, there we are. And then in 2023-24, it's 100 million net gain, near enough. And then in 2024-25, they spend as much money on transfers as they do on transfers out, which you do see on the graphs here in the income bracket of 2025 peaking higher than it's ever been, 316 million. That's due to players sold mostly by the look of it. And then expenditure, absolutely massive here, 176 million, the highest of the whole period. And that is on players, or more specifically players' transfer fees, because you can see here, players' wages are hugely expensive. Per month, they're paying about £10 million. So I guess that's the answer. They fueled it with selling squad players, essentially. But there's no real way for me to go back and find out exactly what this income all comes from back in 2024 and 2025, because I think they might have been doing the dirty again. Some things never change.